look up Big Nobby and see what the Big Nobby Bush Regen crew have achieved. You'll see I've divided the headland up into 3 zones. Zone A, B and C. Zone A is where we've worked the most. So let's go up Zone A for a start and see what it looks like. So as we leave the top tee of the golf course and go up the existing path, on the left we have an area called Tom's Patch, because Tom was the one who got the contractors to clear this. It was impenetrable. And it's not looking too bad, except down here we have this pennywort, which is a weed. Further down we've got broadleaf paspalum. It's seed heads. But all through this is kangaroo grass, themata. We have little tuckaroos, we've got casuarinas, dwarf casuarinas coming up. Over near the edge, there's some bidoo bush, some treated bidoo bush. Down here we have spade flower. Also got some oxalis here. Not sure whether it's the native coastal one or not. We've got acacias coming up. We've got a bit of dye back from casuarinas. And this one here is a paspalum. If I go down here, maybe you can see the purplish root. If I pull it out, you could. This is an area we need to keep an eye on, keep working on. Also still in Tom's Patch, there's a little one here. It's a little Setaria. Just going to pull that one out. We don't need it. Over here there's another grass coming out. This is a digitalis or finger grass, so it's a good native. We'll leave that there. Moving on up, we come into a patch with quite a fair bit of paspalum that needs removal. But we do have the dianella here, the flax lily, so we don't want to confuse it with that. And farmer's friends or cobbler's pegs always seem to be in here. More paspalum over here, and the very recognisable farmer's friends. Moving on up the hill out of Tom's Patch, surrounded by kangaroo grass here, which is beautiful. There's a little 3-leaf plant here called Vigna, which has a mauve flower. This is not its flower. This is what's known as scurvy weed, but it's not a weed. Commelina, it's a native. And over here, some lamandra. Once again, not to be confused with paspalum. If we move on up, see more lamandra, the occasional banksia, and this other 3-leaved viney thing, which is called the running postman, Canidia or Canadia. Come across some more paspalum, and this poor example of a Formosa lily, which we'll come back and attend to. But mostly, really, really good bush. Down here is the native pea. Moving on up, we're just seeing more Canadia, more of the pea. Over here, some slender rice flower. So a recent work session has got rid of a lot of paspalum and giant Parramatta grass that was inhabiting this area. A little bit of Parramatta grass there, but much reduced by the volunteers. We head around this banks here, looking at the downslope towards the water. Just a bit of a gem. We've got Plectanthus here. Lots of kangaroo grass slope, lots of Canadia or Canadia. Got the odd Parramatta grass there. More slender rice flower. Then we got a new plant up here. It has a yellow flower. This is Wollastonia. And that's grown all over the top of the kangaroo grass. And if you look really closely, unfortunately we always find a mother of millions. Been working these slopes for a long time and they just keep coming back, but our volunteers keep getting rid of them. We come up the slope, see a lot more of the Plectanthus, the Wollastonia. There's the Wollastonia yellow flower, but just a great slope. Another flax lily here, a little spade flower tucked away. Mother of millions. Come back and get that one. But just a great example of a grassy headland slope. And I mentioned the vine Vigna before. Here we see its leaves again, but here's its little flower. And with such a great slope, when the track becomes a bit hard, people start a new track, go straight through the middle of the area we're rehabilitating. So we put all this dead wood here, which is dying from these acacias up here, just to try and encourage people not to walk a different track and spread weeds. You can see it, this is only about a week's worth of people walking it. It's already very distinct, and erosion here underneath a huge crop of Plectanthus. Bit of dandelion. If we continue up the hill a bit, come to this big outcrop of acacia and banksia. A lot of that's been dying off. And here the distinctive three rounded lobes of the weedy passion fruit. And also in here, some verbena. Not to be confused with the purple of the Plectanthus. That's a weed we've got to get rid of as well. And here's an isolated case of a bit of bidoo bush. It's annoying. Just pull that one out there and move on up. The slope's still looking fantastic. Lots and lots of kangaroo grass, pea, and then come across another weed here. It's another passion fruit, but it's got spiky points to its leaves, and this is corky passion fruit. It's another weed we get rid of. Not far from that corky passion fruit, we've got more of the pea. And this new one here is called Boobiala. It's a common name for Myoporum. And that starts to become prolific further up the hill. The track made by people, still very distinct even though it was only a week's worth, and they're probably taking weeds down here that we don't want. And lo and behold, another mother of millions we'll need to attend to. But overall, just another great slope. With more lomandra and more of the flax lily. Tucked away under this acacia here, I think there's a nice little native to see, the Wickstreamia. There's berries, and somewhere it'll have flowers. And moving on up to meet the track again, just a really great slope. A little bit of bindweed here, which is not a weed at all, but a native creeping through the thermida. And up to join the main track. This is where we start encountering a lot more paspalum, giant Parramatta grass. A work in progress.